Just as you arrive in your chair, make sure your feet can reach the ground. Trying to have your knees about hip width distance apart. I like to sit more towards the edge of the chair. I have short legs. But just see if you can really feel your sitting bones pressing into your chair seat. On the inhale, reach your spine long. Crown of the head comes up to the ceiling. Closing your eyes now if that feels comfortable. And just take a few rounds of breath, noticing how you feel in this seated shape. If you don't have shoes on, maybe wiggle your toes and really try to touch each toe pad, sides of the foot into your mat. Sensing how those feet are going to be supporting us when we come to standing. So earlier this week was the snow moon. The full moon, I think, was Wednesday, and we could still see it a little bit last night. Probably not for you if it was snowing and slushing, but then the full moon is a good time to kind of, reset, start fresh. And it's just a beautiful way to remind us of a sense of gratitude and awe when you see that big, beautiful moon up in the sky. So I've been, again, this winter working my way through Deborah Adele's Yamas and Niyamas book. And this week I was reading about the second niyama, which is contentment, santosha. So I invite you to think about how you can move through this practice today with a sense of contentment. And how do we find contentment even though we might not always be doing something we prefer? So contentment isn't always about just filling ourselves up with all the things that make us feel good and that we love, but can we find a sense of contentment in the uncomfortable? And yoga provides a great way to do that through the breath. So I know you and I were discussing how it's kind of awkward to do some of these poses on the chair, the warriors and the lunges, but how do you find contentment in something that you're just not quite happy about doing? Begin to deepen your breath, holding the breath on the inhale, feeling the front and the back body fill up. And as you exhale and release, notice where you're finding softness. As you inhale, are your shoulders accidentally reaching your ears? Can you draw them back and down, keeping them soft? On the next inhale, go ahead and open your eyes, turn your palms upward. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, feel long in that side body, and then let's roll our wrists, open and shut our fingers a few times. Exhale, let that all go. Fill up, reach up, pressing down into the feet and the hips. Exhaling. One more time, reach up. This time, let's gaze up if that feels okay. Exhale, drawing that energy down into your heart space center, closing the eyes. It's a nice time to either set an intention for yourself or someone else, or just feel a sense of gratitude, something maybe that you're feeling grateful for today. Releasing, reaching up, filling up. This time we're coming to a twist. So right fingertips are going to come over towards that left knee. The left hand can just come behind you in this gentle twist. Sitting tall, Twisting a little more, maybe looking over your back shoulder a tiny bit. So we're going to keep the twist in the body here, but just turn now and look over your opposite shoulder, coming back through, over towards the center, releasing, reaching up, filling up, growing tall, yet soft. Exhale, twisting to the second side. Letting that twist come through the navel. And then begin to do your chin rolls. Turning and looking forward and back and forward and back. Coming back through heart up. Center, just release the fingers, shake them out a little bit of Kundalini energy here. And then again, we're going to take our right fingertips towards the left knee. This time we're going to open up diagonally. So I know you've done this with me before, reaching up, stretching up, and then coming back towards the left side of your space. Filling up, reaching, stretching, and twisting. Opening up those shoulders. One more time on that side. Keeping that right finger, those right fingertips on the left knee, pick up the left hand, cross it over, you're making an X. Drop your chin round your spine. Filling up, coming to kind of a little cow pose, arching the back, slide the fingertips behind, and we'll do the diagonal on the second side. So now the left fingertips are coming towards the right knee, reaching and stretching behind. Beautiful. Final time. Let those fingertips rest. Pick up the back hand, make that X, crossing over, round for your cat pose. Pull the heart forward, arch the spine, lift the chin for your cow. Release the fingers. Let's just let that go and just get into the back of the neck a little bit here. So filling up and then exhaling, dropping the chin. See if you can pull your belly up and in, keeping a nice, tall, long spine. Roll your chin side to side here. If you get to a little sticky spot where it feels super good, you can stay there. And then if it feels okay to you, you can lift higher and do kind of some half circles. From here, we'll reach the fingertips up, wiggle the fingers, making a diamond shape behind your skull, using your thumbs to support the back of your skull. We're going to pretend we're in a hammock. So already I just arched my back. See if you can draw the belly up and in, low ribs in, but let the head fall heavy. So I like to think of being in the hammock in the summertime or lying in the grass. So really let your head fall heavy into this hammock support. Contentment. Draw the elbow tips away from each other and then exhale round. Elbows are going to come together. Don't tug on the chin too much. Just fold over. Inhale, lift. Contentment. Toes are wiggling in the grass as you open and shut this hammock pose. One more time. And then just release the fingertips. Let's put them on the shoulders, getting into the shoulders a little bit, swimming with the elbows a bit forward and back. Nice. Just releasing that. Okay, it looks like it's just the two of us. So let's make our way to our child's pose. Settling in, if you, we will be on our knees, Sue, a little bit. So if you have a blanket that you'd like to lay out for table pose, go ahead and move your chair out of the way. And so I've got my blanket here, and we'll just settle in, sinking the hips back, letting the forehead rest either on your blanket or on the mat. Press into all 10 finger pads here. Lift the fingers, lift a base of the hand like you're holding a cupcake with frosting, and then press. Sink your hips back towards the heels, feeling that nice hamstring opening, feeling the belly expanding like a balloon, spine growing long. Now turn your chin side to side, activating that seat of intuition. I know you have it. If anything I suggest here doesn't feel right in your body, just do what your body tells you is right. Inhale, walk the left fingertips to the right side, coming to that big side body stretch, feeling the compression, and then pull the right hip towards the right heel. So compression, right side body, big, vast opening left. Picking up the left fingertips, let's swing it around, big shoulder opener. Arm rests on the low back, or maybe you're tucking it in to the crease of the right hip. You can stay just like this, or you can press into the right palm and turn and look over the left shoulder for a bigger twist. Unbinding, walk both fingers over to the second side. Right palm might come on top of the left. You're feeling a nice opening in the right side body now. Can you pull your left hip towards your left heel, feeling a little bit of compression and opening in that hip space? Releasing those right fingertips, come to a little half bind. Settle in, find ease. If you want, you can make it a twist by turning and looking over the right shoulder. And then releasing, coming through center, rise into your table pose, just setting it up. And we're gonna do big rocks. Knees can be together or apart, just dipping the hips right to left. Opening up the outside now of the hips. Coming back through table. Pick up the right hand, shake it out, turn it so that the fingertips are facing back, and just do some gentle rocks. Forward and back here. Gently opening up the back of the wrist. Releasing that, take the second side, swim those left fingertips back towards the knee. Activating it, little circles might feel nice. Super. Let that go. Tucking the toes, externally rotate those arm bones, really drop the belly, pull the heart through for the cow pose, pulling these away from each other. Feel your hips spreading, activating, exhaling to round, gazing back. Follow your breath here, couple more rounds, getting deeper each time. Some people really like to bend their elbows and really dip and swim. What feels good in your body. Can't do it wrong. From here, we're going to slide those right toes out, come to a little balance, dialing the pinky toe down, bend the right knee, pull the heel towards the glute, and then unbend it. A few times like that. Hinging the knee in and out, really firming up through the quadricep as you pull the heel in these curls, and then draw the knee towards the right tricep, building a little heat here. Come to a balance, and then doggy on a fire hydrant, lifting and lowering a few times. Fill up, let that heel press out and grow long, and we'll come to a balance by lifting the left fingertips. Seeing if we can get our hips squared, Lift the leg a little higher. Exhale, round elbow to knee. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, round. Find length. Final time. Exhale, round. Plant the left palm. Extend the right heel long, still lifted. And then lower the right toes to the mat. We're going to tick-tock the left toes behind like a kickstand and rise into gate pose. So really sealing that right foot on that left knee, arms come to a T, looking good. Fill up here, reach the hands up and overhead, create that diamond. We're coming to our hammock shape. Snoopy on his doghouse. Summer, all good things. Fill up here, taking a little back bend, and then exhale, just like we did before. Elbows are going to come together, drop the chin. Fill up and rise. This takes a little bit of balance. Feeling that extended leg, round to curl. Filling up, rising, release the fingertips, let the right fingertips slide all the way down that leg, coming to a side bend. Beautiful. Come back through the T on the inhale, reaching fingertips away from each other, and then exhale, plant the left palm, stacking shoulders. If it's okay for your neck, you can gaze up at that top thumb. You might want to lift the foot, thinking of that full moon. This is supported half moon. From here, you have options. You can stay just here like this. You could do some crunches by bringing elbow to knee. You could reach for your pant leg and come to a little bind, or you could stay just as you are. One more round of breath. Opening, finding expansion, noticing where you're holding tension, soften, releasing, coming back through table, and then make your way to your child's pose again. Let that go. Just notice the right side body, the right hip, the right hamstring, the right shoulder. Does it feel more open than the left? Coming through center again, come back to your table. We get to do that second side. So drop the belly, pull the heart through, lift the chin. Exhaling to round and curl. Expel all that air. Fill up, find a neutral table. Extend those left toes out, opening up the back of the leg, and then lift for the balance. Pausing here to square the hips, bend the left knee, bring the left heel to the left glute, and then we're going to do those hingings. So we were going to do this on the chair, the hinging. I like it on table. So bending and straightening, and then bring that left knee towards the left tricep. Pause, building some strength, and then begin to lift and lower that left knee. Doggy on a fire hydrant. I try to do this every day. It's a really oldie, but a good hip strengthener. And then reaching that heel long, dialing the pinky toes down, we'll come to a balance. Lift right fingers, stretching and growing long. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fill up and lengthen. Come to your crunch. One more lengthening, stretching fingers and toes. Plant the right palm down, tick-tock that right toe behind your hip. Extend the left leg long, setting up for the half moon. So right palm on the earth, left fingertips reaching high, turning to gaze up. Feeling that nice long line of energy, stay right here. Or if you want, you can lift that left leg coming to your half moon. I forgot to cue this, but your fingers can go long over the ear, or arm can stay up. So many options. You can do some crunches again, getting into the hip with flexed feet. You could take a bind, reach for your pant leg or your ankle, opening. Whenever you're ready, release. Come back to your child's pose and just let that go. Sinking here. So we are done with our kneeling postures. So I'm going to move my blanket away. Inching forward like you're pushing a ball, like you're a puppy pushing a tennis ball with your nose. Slide forward. Knees are still wide. Pick up the tail of your feet. Come to a seal pose. Little back bend, lift the chin, lift the heart. Exhale, sink back. Let it go. Fill up, slide forward, pressing that tennis ball with the nose, and then lower your tail, lower your belly. Make a little diamond shape for your forehead. Lift both heels up to the sky and just windshield wipe the heels side to side. Letting go and releasing all tension in that hip area, the glutes. Feet are going to come back down. Walk your elbows under your shoulders, spread the fingers wide, press the toes into your mat, just tap the tops a little bit. And then pull your heart through, coming up to a back bend here. Drop the chin, soften between the shoulder blades here. Lift the chin, lift the nose, gazing up, maybe really pressing into those forearms. Turn and look over one shoulder, release, other shoulder. Bringing right fingertips towards that left elbow. We're making like half of a box. So the right forearm's parallel to the top of the mat. Really press in to that arm. See if you can walk your left fingertips up, cupcake hands. Lift the chin and then soften and lower. We're going to bend the left knee, reach the left hand back towards the pant leg, maybe capture the leg for a little quadricep stretch. Once you've captured it, or if you just intend the fingers back there, see if you can square your shoulders to the front of the space. Whew. Release that, let that go. Good place to practice the yoga. I don't do this asana very often because sometimes my mind tells me I don't like it, but can I find contentment doing things that my mind tells me yuck? Releasing that, coming back to your Sphinx pose, pressing into the forearms, lifting the heart, and then soften, slide the left fingertips over towards the right, paralleling that left arm. Really press into the whole left forearm here. And then walk the right fingertips up. You can stay here and just bend the heel towards the glute, or you can swim the arms back for a little twist. Ooh, getting a Charlie horse. You can massage yourself. And then releasing that, walk the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, press up. We're going to be in a knee down plank. You can always do forearm plank if that feels better. Building a little bit of heat, drawing the low belly in, and then tuck the toes, press the hips back. Make your way to your first downward facing dog and pedal it out a bit here. Right and left. Lifting the hips up nice and high, wag the tail, and then soften the heels down. Shake your head yes or no. And begin to walk your fingertips back towards your toes. Find yourself in your ragdoll. Uttanasana, forward fold. Noticing the feet. Are they grounding and supporting and rooting. Fill up, inhale, half lift, long flat spine, soft gaze. Exhaling to release. Ground through the feet, reaching and rising all the way up. Roll through the wrists. Make some fists. Exhale. Hands come to heart space center. Hands come to hips, Tadasana, feeling supported and grounded. Inhale, reaching to rise. Exhale, we're going to come back to our hammock head, supporting the neck, maybe a little massage with those thumbs, elbows reach away. And then keeping the elbows out wide, head framed. Take a side bend, one side, pressing in to the heel of the lifted elbow. Come through center, second side, releasing through center, draw the elbows away, lift the heart, little back bend. And then let that go, wiggle the fingers, swan dive down. Inhaling to fill up, exhale, fold. Root through the feet as you reach and rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart space center. Hands come to hips, Tadasana. So looking down at that right foot, feeling really grounded, we're going to step the left foot forward, making our way to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Hips are going to be facing the short edge of the mat. Go ahead and put your hands on your hips and just make sure the hips are really pointing like headlights towards the front of your space. Feel the feet supporting you. I need to walk mine out a little wider. The wider your railroad tracks are, the bigger your base here. When you're ready, reach up, stretch up, exhale, cactus the elbows, find some heart opening here, and then slide the hands back behind the neck, behind the head again, hammock pose. Exhale, elbows come together, a little balance, round, fall forward, feeling grounded, lift, reach, rise the heart and the head. That's going to be our vinyasa. Exhaling to round and tuck. Inhale, reaching, filling up. Exhale, rounding. Release the hands, reach and gaze up, sinking the hips in, strong warrior. Release the hands to the hips here, and we're going to step the back foot forward, Tadasana, front of your space. Fill up, reach, exhale, fold. Inhaling, lifting, releasing to fold. Ground through the feet as you reach and rise all the way up. Hands come to heart space center. Hands come to hips. Step your left toes back. Virabhadrasana 1, second side. So setting up, feeling grounded, watching that front knee. Hands reach up when you're ready. Strong warrior. Settle in here with a couple rounds of breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come behind the head, hammock pose. Bring to mind something you're grateful for. Toes in the sand, toes in the grass, sunshine on the face. Exhale, elbows come together, balance, round. Follow your breath 3 times. Exhale, rounding, dropping in. Inhale, lifting. The final time, hands reach and rise, gazing up. Float the hands back to the hips, step the back foot forward, Tadasana, mountain pose. Close your eyes here for just a moment. Notice how your body's feeling. Inhale, reaching up, open those eyes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, soften and fold, plant the hands. We're gonna step the right toe back, then the left toe back, coming to a plank pose. Lower the knees, building a little bit of strength here, pressing through the fingers, belly up and in. Exhale, lower. Let that go. Untuck the toes. Finger pads draw towards wrists as you lift your heart. Cobra pose, big back bend. Exhale, let that go. Tuck the toes, press into the palms, come back through a brief table, and then lift the hips for downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, reach the right heel up nice and high. Bend the heel so it comes towards the glute, and then twist open. You can make some circles. You can bend and straighten like we did in our table pose. And then soften and lower. Take the second side, stretch the left heel up. Bend the left knee, left heel comes towards left bottom. Twisting open or making some circles. Return those toes back to the mat. Pick up your right foot, cross your right toes all the way to the left side of the mat. Left toes crisscross to the right side of the mat. We're making our way, getting into the inner and outer edges of the hips all the way to the top. Forward fold, let that go. Inhale, extend for your half lift. Exhale, soften and fold, ragdoll here. Ground through the feet, reach and rise all the way up. Exhale, hammock head. Shine your heart. Fill up, release the fingers. We're gonna swing our right arm back, step our right foot back, rising into warrior two, sorry. So now the hips are open to the long edge of the mat. You're on one balance beam, hands to hips, and then when you're ready, stretch the fingers away from each other. Strong warrior two. Really tapping the feet into that base. If somebody came and pressed you between the shoulder blades, you would not wobble. Inhale, straighten that front knee, fingertips meet overhead. Exhale, hands come to your hammock, lift the heart, and then bend through the knee, release the fingers. So lots of heart opening. Straighten the front knee, reach up, hands come behind the skull, support the neck, lift the heart, bend in. One more time. Reaching, stretching, feeling long in your side body. Exhale, open the fingertips out. Inhale, reaching here. Exhale, keeping that front knee bent. We're gonna slide the fingertips down the back leg, peaceful warrior. Choose your gaze. Sometimes it's nice to look down the back of the leg. It's kind of tricky on the balance. Come through your T shape. Hands are going to come to hips, and we're going to step that back foot all the way up to the front. You can take tiny steps, or you can just step all the way up. From here, we're going to inhale, ground through that left foot, lift the right leg, one leg Tadasana. Hands can come wherever you want. You can come back to hammock head, hands on hips, or hands at heart space center. Nice. All right, just let that go. Let's just do a little bit of bear swings, releasing, and we'll come to the second side. So I'm gonna turn around here. So reaching up, stretching, exhale, soft fold. Fill up for a long half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Ground as you reach and rise. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Press into the right foot. Step the left foot all the way back. Virabhadrasana, 2-second side. Playing around with your stance so you are strong and steady. And then when you're ready, extend the fingertips long. Settling in on the exhale. Where can you find some peace in this pose, some contentment? Straighten the front knee, long side bodies, fingers reach up, gaze up, exhale, hand comes to your hammock head. Spread your wings, lift the heart, release and bend. Following your breath now, 2 or 3 more times. Sinking in, inhaling, straightening, filling up, gazing up. Exhale, hand frames the back of the head. Bend the knee. Pulling fingers away from fingers. Where can you find ease in this pose of strength? Inhale, exhale, drop the left fingertips down the back leg. Decide where you'd like to gaze, up at the top thumb or down at the back foot. Come through center again, squaring the shoulders, reaching fingers away, and then hands come to hips. Step that back foot forward, come to the top of your space, Tadasana. From here, we'll ground into the right leg, lift that left knee, choose where you'd like your hands, up to the sky, heart space, center, or hips. Just feeling grounded. And then let that go. Bear swings. Inhale, reaching up, roll through the wrists, gaze up, exhale, soft fold. Frame the feet, step that right foot back, rising again into your warrior 2. Settling in here. One time we straighten that front knee, bring hands behind the head, lift the chin, exhale, swim it down. From here, we're gonna lift those left toes, rotate to the long edge of the mat. Now we're in our X pose, setting up for wide leg forward fold. So hands stretch away from each other. And then let's bring our hands to our hip creases, pull the hips back, lengthen the spine for a fold. If you want, you can release your palms to the mat. Release the head, just let that go. Feeling those hamstrings just gently open with gravity. Hands can walk over to the left knee, the left toes, bend the left knee. Little Skandasana pose, and then walk the hands to the right toes, bend. Hands come through center, press into the fingers, half lift. Bring your hands to your hips, press through the outside edges of the feet as you rise all the way up. Press into the toes, pull the heels in, rise into your star pose, lift the heart. Exhale, sink down, goddess, big hip opener. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we're going to be facing the back of our space in our warrior 2 again. Hips are nice and open. Fill up, stretch. Exhale one time. Reach, straighten the front knee. Hands come behind the head, hammock. And then bend in, releasing. Picking up those right toes. Turn them so you're facing the wide edge of the mat in a T. Hands come to hips, hinging forward. Second time here. Maybe do something else this time. You might want to pull the fingers underneath the feet, outside edges of the feet to deepen that fold. Or you could walk your fingertips backwards and try to pull the crown of the head closer to the mat.
Walk the hands forward. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Press through the feet as you rise all the way up. Heels reach in, toes out, star pose. Shake the hands. Exhale. Hands come through heart center this time. Find yourself in your goddess. Inhale, rise. Exhale, step to the top of your space. Hands come to heart center. Close the eyes. Just let that go. Okay, so we have our chair here. We've been opening up our legs. So just in case, put the chair at the top of your space. You may not want to use it, but we're going to be doing some dancer balance. So dancer pose is a really beautiful pose to open the heart. We've already opened our hips and our hamstrings. So we're going to try it a couple different ways. I know a lot of people don't really enjoy dancer because of the balance issue, but we're ready and we have our support. So let's ground through the left toes first, left foot, and we're going to take that right toe and just walk it backwards. From here, left fingertips are going to reach towards the chair, and we're just going to square the hips forward, lift and lower the right toes. If you want, if you're feeling pretty good, you can lift and hold and maybe play around with letting go of those left fingertips. Whew, my left is my turkey side. So this is dancer pose. You can feel a long line of energy from those right toes to the left fingertips. If you feel pretty good, and you can come back to your chair, you can bend that right knee and draw the right glute towards the right bottom. And then drop it down. I was watching a yoga video, I think it was from England or New Zealand, and the teacher kept calling it a bum, which I liked. So towards your bum. So letting that go. Let's go to the second side. So grounding through the right toes, step the left toes back, feeling that nice hip extension on the left side. Maybe right fingertips come to the chair. You can lift and lower a few times. Engaging the glute, engaging the quad. And then maybe play around with the balance, lifting the toes and stretching. Nice. Maybe the heel comes to the bum. Lift the heart. Let that go. Let's step wide. We're going to stretch out the inner thighs again. You can come to your goddess, or if you like Malasana squat. We're just taking a little break before we do one more dancer. Heel toeing the feet together, rising up, reach up, gaze up, exhale, hands come to the hammock head one final time. Elbows come together, round. Let that go. So let's see, how are we going to come in this time? All right, we are going to be at the back of our space. Hands on hips. Inhale, let's step that left foot forward. We're going to come to our high crescent lunge here. So if that doesn't feel stable, you can come to your warrior one, dropping the heel. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to swim the fingertips back. Press into that left foot. Tap, tap, tap the right toes forward, maybe lifting, maybe reaching for the chair. Rise up. One leg Tadasana. You can either have the thigh lifted or you can try knee to knee. From here,
we're going to swim our right fingertips back towards our heel. Square the shoulders and the hip forward. If you want to reach for your pant leg or your ankle, you can. Coming to the inside edge of that foot if you captured the foot. So a little bit more in-depth dancer. If this doesn't feel nice in your body, you can come back to the extended toe version. Just something to play around with, and it's not good or bad or better. You can work with lifting those left fingertips, pressing into the foot. If you've got your chair, you might want to dip your heart towards the chair. Really nice. Let that one go. Couple bear swings. Make our way to the back of our space again. Tadasana. Inhale, reach up, fill up. Exhale, hands come through heart space center. Hands come to hips. Step the right toes forward, making your way to your high crescent lunge or warrior one again. You decide. Finding some strength and balance. Hands reach up, gaze up, fill up. Exhale, swim the hands back. Press into that front foot. And then come to your one leg Tadasana. Thigh lifted or knees together. Really feeling strength and grounded here. If you want, you can come to the extended toe version of your dancer, or you might want to reach for your foot or your pant leg using that chair for support. So grateful to have that. Playing around with lifting maybe the fingertips and lowering. You can dip the heart. Beautiful dancer. I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics, but every skater has to do that spin, and they are grabbing their blade and their head is all the way down at their toes, and they've got that leg straight up. So that's just crazy to me. I don't know how they do it, but we did just great. Making your way to your bottom whenever you're ready. We're going to meet in Baddha Konasana. So we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together. Knees are going to go wide. Begin with just massaging your feet just a little bit. We've done a lot of standing postures today. All those muscles work so hard to support our balance. And then holding onto the ankles or the shins. See if you can settle your sitting bones in. Let those knees relax. Growing a tall spine. One more deep inhale and then exhale. Crawl the fingers forward as you take just a little forward fold here. Nice. Walk the hands back, bring the knees together. And we're going to slowly make our way down to our back. Hopefully, yeah, I think you might be able to see. Anyway, when you arrive in your back, come to a nice long full body stretch. And then just release. Let everything fall. Just let it go. Bend through the knees, walk the heels up towards the glutes, and then extend the right heel to the sky, extend the left heel to the sky. Make a few circles with the legs going in one direction, massaging your low back. That feels good. Swim them around the other direction. Release the left foot to the mat. Walk your hands up your right leg. Knee can be bent. Inhale, just draw the thigh closer to your chest. Big stretch. Exhale, press it away. Bend the right knee, coming to our supine pigeon here. So just
Spend some time here seeing what that right hip would enjoy. You can take the bind by reaching the hands through the keyhole you've created, clasping the left hamstring or the front of the left knee, lifting that left leg, or you can just stay where you are. One more round of breath here, just finding softness somewhere, face, hip. If you've lifted your left leg, go ahead and put that back on the ground and then slide the right thigh right on top, like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. We're going to lift both feet now, reach for your toes, coming to the shoelace pose. Whew. See if you can settle your shoulders, head and neck back onto the mat after you've captured your feet. Pull your toes away from each other. Unwind, let both feet come to the wide edges of the mat and just let the knees fall towards each other. Big sensations in the inner thighs here. Can you release some tension in this shape? Nice. And then heel toe those feet back so they're hip width distance apart. Extend the left heel up to the sky. Crawl your fingers up to the calf or the ankle. Inhale. Pull it towards your chest. Shaking is okay, releasing that muscle. And then bend the knee, cross the ankle over the right, coming to your pigeon on this side, deciding what would feel nice. You might want to lift the right leg, take the bind. You can just breathe in stillness, or you can rock side to side and draw the pigeon towards the chest or press it away. See where you're holding and gripping. Can you find some ease and contentment using the breath? Releasing that whenever you're ready, bring the right foot back to the mat. Come to a seated cross-legged position, sliding the left leg on top, really squeezing the thighs together, and then pick up both feet. Reach for those feet, tighten your shoelace, pulling, 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 getting into the outer hip. Beautiful. Unwinding, releasing, take the feet to the wide edges of the mat, arms to a T, and just let those knees fall side to side. Heel toe the feet back together. Slide the left leg long, draw the right knee into the chest and then out underneath the right armpit, wind removing pose. Really flex through the right toes, press the heel out, big compression again. And then soften and release, guide that right knee all the way across your body, come to the twist of your choice. So it can be a little twist, or you can come to a big twist and stack the hips on top of each other. You can extend those right toes long, or keep it bent. Unwind, come back to your flat back, draw both knees in. Just give yourself a big hug. Then slide the right leg long, wind removing pose on the left. Clasp the knee, pull it in towards the armpit. Pull, 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 really getting into that hip crease, hamstring, sit bone, soften and release, opening the left fingertips, twisting over to the right. Choosing the twist that feels nice here. It may be a different twist than on the first side.
Letting that go, come back to your back. See what else you might need here. You might want to do legs up the wall again, or maybe happy baby, shaking. Take whatever would feel nice before you make your way to your pose of rest, Shavasana. It could be seated, it could be lying long. Just integrating all the asanas we just did into this pose of rest. Covering up with your blanket and your sweatshirt, it's chilly. Take a nice deep, full breath. Let it go. See if you can soften. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere between the eyes, the jaw, shoulders. Maybe it's the belly or the glutes. Just fully release. Being here with your breath. May the full moon shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way. I'm going to leave you right here in your pose of rest. Stay as long as you can. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.